Welcome to the fourth installment of my Nuka Cola settlement campaign. This one's called Pop Goes the Automaton, but whilst filming this I had a change of heart and I'm calling it Is It Really VIM? So getting straight into it, the settlement mode, all I'm doing is purchasing one perk, and that is Collaborator, which allows others to shoot into a melee combat that Nuka Girl is in. So that's all that's happening in the settlement stage, so we're moving right on to the battle. With little to no rest, Nuka Girl pieces together the clues and assembles her team. Their target, an old pre-war army base, just a few days away. As they approach, they are met by a weary Brotherhood of Steel member, who asks for help. Strangely enough, his target is the same location. So getting down to the scenario rules, the objective of the AI is to defend the bunker and to kill all intruders. And the objective of the Nuka Cola team and the one Brotherhood of Steel Knight Tech is to open the bunker. Opening the bunker is victory and ends the game. So that is a major victory for the team, and destroying all the defenders is a minor victory. And for the AI, a major victory is killing all the intruders, and a minor is defending the bunker up until turn 6 without it being opened. On an objective roll on the blue die for the AI, or even a move roll, if there is no enemy within range or line of sight, then the robot will move towards the bunker, defend the bunker. Or if there's one of the Nuka team are close to the bunker door, they will head towards the bunker to defend it. That's their primary objective. The special rule, the bunker door is extremely difficult to hack. It has a -6 penalty. The model performing the action must have the boss terminal cracker to obtain a +4 on their check. They don't actually have to have that, sorry, but obviously getting that +4 is going to help them, but they cannot be engaged. So if there's any robots engaged with the person when they're at the door, they will not be able to attempt to open it, so they will have to clear the surrounding area of robots or anything that's engaged. Moving on to the battlefield setup, so the standard 3x3 foot and general scattering of pieces of terrain. There's 8 random searchable tokens. The difference on this battlefield is that there will be 3 markers that are representing dead Brotherhood of Steel members. One of them, which is A on the map here, is going to have the door cracking code, and B and C are 2 Brotherhood members in power armor. One of those has a lootable T51 power armor. So the forces, the Nuka team has their standard team that they've been running through all the scenarios, but this time they're getting one Brotherhood of Steel Knight Tech with T60 power armor and a laser rifle, and the robot AI receives 800 points to build a force. I recommend, well, this is what I've used, is a battered sentry bot and uninjured, well, just the normal assaultron. So having those two as your core, and then you can build around that. Besides whatever loot is gathered, and also the power armor that's obtained, a minor victory for the settlement gives them 200 caps, and a major will give them 300 caps. A minor defeat will only give them 100 caps, and a major defeat is nothing at all. And welcome again. So this is the battlefield. It's a pre-war army base. There's a few ruined buildings and some explosive craters. A jackknife truck in the middle there. The robots are all setting up around the bunker that's stationed in the middle. There's some nuclear waste over there in the bottom right corner, and there's a dead Brotherhood of Steel scribe there in the middle there. Coming down the field, there's a few objective markers, a tank, another dead Brotherhood member, and over the other side there's another dead Brotherhood member. One of those is holding a lootable T-51 power armor. It's an APC. Some more ruins, and there are our Nuka team with in the middle there, a Brotherhood of Steel Night Tech. So they have to come down here and grab, or either loot one of those bodies for a T-51 power armor, and if they want to get that +4 bonus to get the door open on the bunker, they need to get to the scribe there and collect the data that will allow them to get that door open with a +4. It's currently at a -6 to any skill test, so that +4 will definitely be a big bonus on that. There's a battered sentry bot there. There's a couple of Mr. Gutsies, 3 battered protectrons, and an assaultron. Moving down to our team. Down here, we've got the Brotherhood of Steel member in the middle there. We've got the janitor, Nuka Girl, Nuka Handy, Pablo, and Mama Murphy. Getting into a little bit more detail with the Nuka team, we've got Nuka Girl with her army helmet, which she's taking from with settlement mode, and her thirst zapper. There's the perk collaborative. If engaged and a friendly model successfully shoots into close combat, the shot affects the intended target. Do not randomize. So hopefully the courier can get some good shots in there and save her ass. We have got the courier there with his anti-material rifle, and that is a beast of a weapon, as you can see, long range. Black, yellow, green, green. Gets an automatic armor break and 3 damage, but you can only shoot it once. Next we have Sturges. I'm giving him the combat shotgun as part of the settlement mode, just for that long range, and the .44 revolver, which he comes with the comfort grip, and he is specialized in it, so that's +2 and +2, it's +4 total. Then we have the Night Tech. He's with his T-60 power armor and laser rifle. Mama Murphy with nothing whatsoever, and Mr. Handy, aka Nuka Handy, with the flamer and buzzsaw. So using Mama Murphy's ability to use 1 foresight point to look at 2 searchables or 2 items, I'm using all 3 of those points in that as I usually do, and I will show you on the battlefield what I have found. So using Mama Murphy's 3 foresight points, I've come up with the danger there, which I'm going to stay clear of. A blank. Coming across, I've got a terminal with a item. Just a normal item. A danger item, which I'll do if I'm desperate. And the big one, which I was hoping for, was that. I've turned over the correct one, which is the T51 power armor. So that dead or fallen boss member has that lootable T51 power armor. So that will be a prime target, I think, for me. Then also the scribe, that token there is the booster for the door, which will give me the +4 to help hack that door. So I think I've got my objective set there, and off we go. And here are the base defenders with robots. There's 800 points of them. Number 1 is the battered sentry bot with empty minigun and missile launcher. It's already taken some damage from the previous conflict with the Brotherhood of Steel. And then we have the Assaultron, which will probably be the bigger threat here. And that comes with the Assaultron swipe and Assaultron head laser. Then we have 2 Mr. Gutsies, and they have a Mr. Handy SMG and Mr. Handy Buzzsaw and Mr. Handy Laser. Then we have 3 battered Protectrons, just with a Protectron hand laser. And for this battle report, I'll be using the Commonwealth supplement book, and using the item deck, event deck, danger deck, creature deck, and stranger deck for the pre-war checkpoint. And next up, before we start the game, I've got to select 2 chems for Mama Murphy, and I've drawn Fury and Healing Powder. And part of Sturge's or non-Sturge's Pablo's setup is to choose 3 mods and keep 2 and get rid of 1. I'm getting rid of the Enrage because it doesn't work against robots, so we're up against robots. So I'll be taking the Armor Piercing Receiver and Hair Trigger, and I'll be placing them on the Courier or the Janitor. I'll be putting the Armor Piercing Receiver on his anti-material rifle, and doing a quick mod job before the battle, giving the Night Tech the hair trigger on his laser rifle. And thanks to the Night Tech, everyone gets a +1 strong armor, so all the named characters have now got +2. And the non-named, which are the 2 middle ones, the Mr. Nuka Handy and the Night Tech, get +1. Pablo's going first, and he is going for the power armor that Mama Murphy's told him exactly where that location is, and the mission be damned. So Protectron 5 is first up, and he is moving forward, and they move it yellow. The radiation here does not affect them. And back to the Nuka team, and Nuka Handy is going next, and he's moving forward to gain some cover in the ruins of a building. And those lockers that you can see there are lootable. There are a few items around the battlefield that can be looted. And Protectron 6 is next, and he also rolled a nuke, which a nuker is actually to attack, but there's no one in range, so he's moving forward. That's the next option under the AI, is so it's moving forward towards the Nuka team. Mama Murphy is up next. She's following Nuka Handy towards the ruins, and she must know something. There must be something good in that locker, because that's where she seems to be heading towards. Next up is the Assaultron. Rolls a bottle cap and star, which doesn't really matter because all the options on the Assaultron are attack. So, and it's got a very good move of red, so it is leading the charge. It doesn't quite see anybody from there, I don't think, so it doesn't charge up its head laser. And next up we have the Knight Tech, and he's going to be moving forward once and then going to take a pot shot down at the oncoming Assaultron. And the Knight Tech's fairly average, everything's pretty it's 5s and 6s on the stats on his special there. So he will be requiring 5s to hit. And he rolls a 7 with a bottle cap and an armor break. Next up is the Mr. Gutsy, and he's rolled a battle cap, which is attack, but everyone's out of range, so he will be moving forward. Red, then red. And as you can see there, there's the Fallen Brotherhood where the power armor is, and there's a terminal just in those ruins there that's lootable as well. The Janitor is next, and I'm going to move him forward one step just so he's out of the cover there, and then taking aim with his anti-material rifle. Needing a 6, he's going to go for the Mr. Gutsy down the end there. Next, Protectron rolls a bottle cap, which is just a plain old move, which is exactly what he does. He's just moving up, following the herd of robots. And the last member of the Nuka team is Nuka Girl herself, and I'm going to use her as the runner to go down and get that booster off the dead scribe. So she's going to do a red run, and I think I'm going to move her behind the cover. Probably going to use Nuka Handy as a decoy to block that Assaultron that's coming down. And now it's just the robot's turn, and next up is the battered sentry bot. I've rolled a star, which is just a move. Moving up yellow. And he's just going to trundle forward there and take his place just behind the jackknife truck, ready to unleash his, well, missile launcher next turn. And last but not least, we have Mr. Gutsy. I rolled a star, which is just a normal move, and so he's going to move forward red, following the rest of his crew. And that is the end of turn 1. I have decided to draw randomly from my cards. As the card that I rolled, I couldn't find it, and I have a lot of cards. It's probably there, I just couldn't find it. So the first one is damp air. The moist air keeps the dust down. Any blank green is treated as a -1. So first up, I'm going to activate the janitor, and he's going to forgo his first action and use his special ability to shoot at the Mr. Gutsy that is already wounded. So I'm going to give him an extra black die, and I need 6s to hit. And I've rolled a 4 with 3 extra damage, that's 6 damage. That armor break makes it 2 armor break, so that is enough to kill that Mr. Gutsy. He's already taken 3 damage, so Mr. Gutsy is removed, and that's a good start. And first up for the robots is Mr. Gutsy getting a bottle cap, which is attack. He can't see anyone from where he is at the moment, so he's actually going to jet up onto the truck bed there. And I've randomly rolled, and it is the janitor, which is appropriate, I guess, because it's taken out his companion. And it's long range, so it's just a white and a green. And rolling, it gets it's a miss with a quick action. And Pablo is next, and I'm going to move him up behind the military barricades, which actually in this scenario actually provide extra benefit as per the Commonwealth book. As you can see, there's a laser turret there. That turret and the other 2 turrets on top of the bunker are actually part of the 800 points of robot forces. I forgot to mention that earlier. He's now going to take a shot at the Mr. Gutsy. Needing 8, that's base of 4, plus 2 for his specialty, plus 2 for the comfort grip. And yep, he needs 8. And he rolls a 9, of course. The laser turret is triggered by Pablo moving and uses one of its reactions to shoot at him. Needs 4s and rolls a 6. So that is a miss. And they have 3 triggers there. Protectron 7 is up next and rolls a star, which is just a move. So he is moving forward and he's going to go and bop Pedro on the head. The Night Tech is going to take aim at the Mr. Gutsy there up on the truck bed. Needing 5s, rolls a 10, so that's a miss. Second shot, and that's an X. So it's a critical fail. Rolling bottle caps for Protectron 6. That is just a move, so he's just moving forward, following his teammate there towards Pablo. Mama Murphy's first action is to take one of her drugs and she's going to take the healing powder. So that will then allow the other members, if any X's are rolled, to change their action. And for her second action, she's going to look into that locker, and she rolls an 8, which is which is the patched 3-piece suit. So she's going to look very smart in that piece of apparel. And up next is the battered sentry bot, who is targeting the janitor. He needs 6s with his missile launcher, his heavy weapon, to hit. And he rolls a 7 with an armor break, which is a miss. And because he doesn't have the minigun working, it's an empty minigun, he's going to use his second action to move forward to engage in melee combat. So they're not as scary as a normal sentry bot, but it has 10 health, and obviously the missile launcher, when it hits, can do some considerable damage. Nuka Handy's next, and I'm going to move him forward up to the item with the terminal. See if I can get something nice. Nuka Handy, sorry, needs 7s and gets a critical fail. The Assaultron is up next, and I've rolled double bottle cap, which just is attack as usual. He is out of range for any charge, but he will move towards Nuka Handy, and for every action that he does, he charges his head laser. So moving up is a red, and that's 1 charge on his head laser. In his second action, he will be charging Nuka Handy, and that will also charge up his head laser, which that will get to fire. So the first attack is for the charge, which is the Assaultron swipe with a yellow and a green, needing 6s, and gets a hit with that 4 with an armor break. Nuka Handy has 3 physical armor, down to 2, and rolls a 2, blocks all the damage. And now for the primed head laser. It's a black, yellow, yellow, and is at a -2 because he's in combat. So normally hits on an 8, so now needs a 6. I should be calling her a she, I think, as well. Anyway, she rolls a 6 with 2 -1s, that's a 4, so it's definitely hit. So it's 3 points of damage, that's energy damage. Nuka Handy only has 1 armor for that. Rolls a 4, so it takes all 3 points of damage. Nuka Handy's already lost strong armor due to the last attack, even though there was no damage taken. So Nuka Handy takes those 3 points of damage. Nuka Girl is up next, and she's going to make a run for the objective now that the Assaultron's taken the bait and taken on Nuka Handy. And Nuka Girl is, I think, one of the best objective runners in the game, with her red-green, her luck, and just overall pretty good stats. And lastly, we've got Protectron number 5, who rolls a bottle cap, which is a move, and he's going to intercept, or try and intercept, Nuka Girl. So he's moving across and can't charge, but will step in her way and hopefully, well, for them, be able to engage her next turn. And turn 3, distant gunfire. Shots can be heard in the distance. Maybe it's a group hunting the Brahmin that frequent the area. Maybe it's trouble. So first up is Protectron number 5, who was last turn, is now first this turn. And I've rolled a bottle cap, which is just a move. But seeing where he is and what's in front of him. I'm going to turn that into a charge. So I'm moving forward, and then I will be flipping a token to see whether it's a green or a black, and I get a black there. So his agility, which is his hand-to-hand combat, is 1. So I need 1s, and I roll a 6, so that's a miss. So I'm going to move Nuka Girl next, and the Protectron will get a quick action attack. I want her to go for get the booster there. So I forgot to use the green die last turn for the Protectron for his improvised weapon, but that's all he gets now. So it'll be a white and a green, and he's basically needing to hit on a crit. So here we go, and that's an X. It's a big miss. So Nuka Girl will get to move. Nuka Girl's moving red and moving down the field here. She's going to come into range. I'll just get that out of the way. Get into range of the radiation dump and also the turrets up on the roof there. So we'll sort all those out. So, looking at page 6 of the Commonwealth book, radioactive terrain, at the start of a model's activation. Oh, so that's at the start of the activation. She's just finishing her activation, so we can ignore that for the moment. So I'll get back to that when it's her turn next. So next we'll be moving on to the turrets, and the turrets are actually on page 7. And they're machine gun turrets, so they have 4s to hit, and they'll both get a shot at her. As you can see, they've got those 3 triggers there, so they're both triggering, and the first one is a hit, and I'll just get the other one out of the way. So this is for the second turret, and it's rolling an 8, which is a miss. They need a 4. So Nuka Girl has 3 armor thanks to her army helmet, and she rolls a 4, which fails, but she does have some strong armor, so that will take some of that damage. So next up is Protectron 6, and I roll a bottle cap, which is a move again. So again, Pablo's close. I'm going to just get the Protectron to charge and try to boink him on the head. And they need 1s basically, and I'm going to be flipping for the charge, which is a black. So it's a green and a black, needing 1s. Oh, and I rolled a 2, which is still a miss. So the janitor sees that Nuka Handy's in trouble. He's going to forsake his action to take a black, which is an ability he has. And he's also using the mod that he can shoot into combat and hit the target that's the intended target. And as you can see by the black ruler, pretty much center to center, that building is not blocking the line of sight. He also gets a +2 for shooting into combat. So he's needing 8s to hit. And he's going to get, ooh, look at that, 7 -3, so it's 4. And he's getting 4 damage there, +3 from the weapon, that's 7. So the Assaultron has physical armor 2 + 1, so he's rolling, and well, he needs a 2 to be able to block 3 of that, which he does. Oh, actually no, the weapon has a armor break, so we need to roll a 1. So he actually takes 6 damage. And Mr. Gutsy number 3 is up next, and he's rolled an attack. The AI says go for the weakest. The weakest at this point is our Nuka Handy because he's been damaged, so he'll be shooting into combat. He normally needs 7s, he'll be hitting on 9s. He'll be using his laser as it's within blue. So Mr. Gutsy needing 9s to hit, and first shot is a miss with a quick action, so you'll get a little prepare token there. And second attack is also a miss, so he doesn't get 2 prepare tokens, he only gets the 1, but that's good news for the Nuke team. So up next is Mama Murphy. I'm going to move her out of cover, possibly high on her drugs. So there'll be yellow. She's a yellow movement, yellow move, yellow charge. So she's moving out. And then I'm going to charge her into the Assaultron. Swinging around the back there, and that will give us a bit of a bonus against that Assaultron. And sure enough, the Assaultron is up next, and she's attacking the Nuka Handy. First attack, needing 6s, is a hit with an armor break. So Nuka Handy has a 3 armor, rolls a 3, but with the armor break misses, so takes all that damage. And for the second attack is another hit with an armor break, so again needing 2s, and rolls a 1, so blocks some of that, but I fear that's not enough, and poor old Nuka Handy is removed as a casualty. And Pablo is next, and I'm going to move him out of combat. So the Protectron there will get a quick action attack, basically needing a crit, which they got. So Pablo has armor of 2, and it's off camera there, but I rolled a 2, so he blocks that, but he will lose 1 point of strong armor because he did take a hit. So now I'll be moving him. His move is yellow, so I'll be moving him forward. He really wants that power armor, so that's what he's heading for. Sturges, or Pablo, is actually a really good runner for objectives as well, because he has lockpick, computers, and search of 8. It's all under his intelligence of 8, so he's great for that sort of stuff. And obviously shooting with that .44 pistol, he's great at that as well. So. But now that I've moved him there, he's actually in range of the laser turret and the 2 turrets up on the roof, so I'll be making rolls for them. And first up is the laser turret, needing 4s, and that's a miss. And then for the first turret up on the roof there, well, 2 of them, but the first one will be there at long range. First one is, where's the dice? There it is. I rolled a 6, it needs a 4, so that is a miss. And for the second one, it's a 7, so that is also a miss. So Pablo's 1 step closer to the armor. The battered sentry bot is up next, and I've rolled a star, which is a move. I feel that the sentry bot needs to go back and protect the doors to the bunker. That's its main objective. And obviously Nuka Girl and Pablo are past the halfway mark, so he's actually moving back to protect the main objective, like I said, which is the door. The Brotherhood Knight Tech is going to go for the battered Protectron there, number 6, needing 5s. His first shot rolls a 10, which is a miss, and on his second shot he's getting a 2 with an extra damage and a blue, which is a 1 damage ignores armor. So the way I read that is that 1 point goes through automatically, ignores all armor. So the Protectron's going to be rolling against 2. His energy armor is 2, so defending against 2 points, and he rolls 1. So blocks 1, takes 1, and plus the other. So that's 2 points of damage he takes. And lastly is Protectron 7, who I've rolled a bottle cap, which is a move, but again he's going to go back towards the objective, and Pablo's in the way, so I'm going to charge him. So he will get a charge, plus that's a black, as you can see I've flipped the black, plus the green for the improvised, needing 1s, and that's a miss with a quick action. So we're up to turn 4, and the event for this turn is a Predator's Roar. The Deathclaws don't usually come this far south at this time of year. Hopefully there is enough prey to keep them occupied with no need to roam further. First up is the Nuka team, and I would be mad if I did not use the janitor first to shoot into that combat. See if I can take out the Assaultron. So he needs 8 to hit, normally 6s, but shooting in the combat, so requiring 8. And that is a crit and 2 extra damage. So that is a total of 5 damage with 1 armor break because of the gun gives that. So the Assaultron needs to roll a 1 plus 1 and rolls a 4. So that means it takes 4 points of damage, and I think it's already taken 6, so another 4, that's 10, and that's what their total is. So that Assaultron is dead. And for the robots, it's Protectron 6's turn, and I rolled a bottle cap, which is move, but I'm just going to charge him into the janitor, seeing that he's the closest. And there he goes there. And I'm going to flip a token to see what he gets for the charge there. Flipping, it's bounced off over the side there, and it's a black. I always seem to be rolling blacks, so he'll get a black next turn for his charge. Moving the Knight Tech next, I'm going to charge him into this combat, hopefully take out this Protectron, freeing up the janitor. He has an improvised weapon which is green. He's charging. I'm going to give him a black for that. He has strength of 8 thanks to his power armor, which is another black, and he gets another green for outnumbering. So it's 2 blacks and 2 greens. He needs 5s to hit, and here we go. Needing 5s. Oh, and he's rolled a 6, but he's got a -1, so that's 5. That's just a hit, which is just good enough. And an extra damage there, so it's 2 damage. The Protectron has physical armor of 1 plus 1. So rolling there, it's rolled a 3, so it's taken that damage, but it's got the +1, so it takes 1 damage. The battered sentry bot is next, and with the bottle cap there, he gets attack. The closest person there is Nuka Girl. She's the biggest threat. So he's firing at her with the missile launcher. Rolls a 7 and needing a 6, so that is a miss. And as I'm recording this after the game, I've realized that I did not do the scatter on the missile launcher, so I do apologize for that. For his second action though, he's going to be charging into combat, hoping to beat her with the empty minigun. Moving Pablo next, he is going to continue to go for the power armor because he really wants that power armor. I really want that power armor. I have a nice T51 model painted up in Nuka colors I'd really love to use. So, so damn everyone else, he's going for that power armor. So he's going to get, the Protectron's going to get a quick action attack at him. It's also got a trigger there, so it's going to get that trigger as well. So I think that's 2 attacks by the Protectron. One's going to be, well, they're both going to be quick action attacks, but he gets that power armor. If he can survive, he's going to get that T51 power armor. So I'm really going to hope that he survives. But the laser turret there is going to get a shot at him, and also those 2 turrets up there are also within range, and they too will be shooting at him. So he's going to cop a fair bit of fire here. So let's see what happens. You're doing the Protectron first, quick action melee attack. That's a miss. He basically needed a crit or a cog to get me. And now with the quick action shot, which again I think he needs a quick action or a cog to hit as well, because they're normally 3s to hit. So rolling that, and that's a 9, so that is a miss. So that's the Protectron done. Next one will be the laser turret, and that needs 4s to hit, and that's a 7, so that's a miss. The next turret is the machine gun turret. It has a clear shot, so it also needs 4s to hit, and rolls a 5. That's, oh no, that's hit. So Pablo needs to make a check there. His armor is 2. He rolls a 1, so he takes 1 point of damage. And I think that comes off his strong armor. He's still got 1 strong armor left, so that's the last of his strong armor. And the other turret, that is a miss anyway, and it had a bit of cover from that, but 10 is a miss. Activating this Protectron next, and he gets a star, which is just a normal move, but I am going to move him into Pablo because Pablo is a threat to the main objective. So moving, can't charge because the wall's sort of in the way, so moving out, then charging in. And rolling a token to see whether I get a black or green for the charge. Oh, actually, I've just seen that I haven't taken off the strong armor or the damage. They negate each other, so Pablo's still at 0, but he's lost all his strong armor. Flipping, getting a black, of course, getting a black. So that will be the next attack from the Protectron there. And I've just realized that the Protectron triggers the turrets, so they're not programmed to attack the robots, they're only programmed to attack the intruders. So the laser turret will be firing into that combat. We'll need to roll to see whether it hits the Protectron by accident. So odds it's Pablo, evens it's the Protectron. And it was Pablo, I just didn't, the dice is there, but I've got a hit there, so that's hit Pablo. Pablo's has an armor break. He's got the 1. That means he takes 1 damage and blocks 1. Next one is Pablo again. That's from the machine gun. It needs a 6s. It rolls a 2, so it's a hit with an extra damage. That's 3 damage on Pablo's 2 armor. He rolls a 1, so he takes another 2 points of damage. And lastly, the last turret is shooting into combat. Rolls 1, Pablo again. That's all 3 on Pablo. It needs 4s to hit because he's shooting into combat. So it's 6s, but then there's cover, so 4s due to those barrels. Rolls a 6, item with a -1, it's 5, it's still a miss. So thankfully, the last turret missed. Activating Nuka Girl next. So I need to roll on the radioactive terrain. There's 1 within yellow of her. At the start of a model's activation, roll 1 black. So rolling a black there, and that's for each radiation barrel within yellow. And she's rolled a 3. Her radiation armor I think is 2, so she takes that point. And with that, she's going to move out of combat and go for the booster on the dead Brotherhood member there. The battered sentry misses his quick action. He only has a 2 for, so he needed basically a crit to hit her. So plenty of range there for her. So she moves in, grabs that. And now she's going to make a move for the bunker. She will trigger the turrets up top there. So moving up there to the bunker, and because of the cover, she'll get only 1 of those turrets. And I've just realized this whole game I have been doing white green for the turret. It's actually yellow, so this is the first time I've actually rolled correctly, and I've missed anyway with a quick action. So that was the turret's last quick action, and I guess it gains another quick action, so you still get another attack at somebody. Now we have Protectron 5, who has rolled a star, which is move. And since we have a few intruders down at the bunker, then the objective is to protect that bunker. That Protectron is moving back to engage with Nuka Girl. And I've just remembered that this Mr. Gutsy here had a prepare token which he didn't use, so I'm actually just going to be fair here and go back to when he could have used it, which was way back when the janitor had an action. So rolling for that quick action there, and that is a hit. He doesn't gain another quick action from that. The janitor gets to roll his armor, rolls a 1, so he blocks 1 and takes 1. So that's his first bit of damage. Mr. Gutsy is up next. I'll just remove that prepare token which he had used against the janitor. He's rolled a bottle cap, which is an attack. With his AI, he's going to be targeting Pablo, who's the most injured, the weakest. He's shooting through cover but into combat, so his range attack stays the same, which is 7s. And he rolls a 10, but with the -3 is 7. So it's just a hit. 2, that actually hits the Protectron. Protectron is a +1/+1. rolls a 2, so it takes 1 point of damage because of the +1. And for the second attack is a 5, so that's a hit again with a armor break. Who does it hit? Hits the Protectron again. Oh, happy days. So the Protectron, because of its +1, takes another point of damage. And lastly, it's Mama Murphy, and she has no threats around her, so she's going to attempt to hack that computer. She needs 5s. And she's successful with a quick action. So, rolling on the pre-war checkpoint table, it's a 14, and that is a blood pack. Not the worst thing to get. Anyway, she stashes the blood pack, and with her second action, she's going to maybe try and assist Nuka Girl, even though she's quite slow, but she's going to move up there. Maybe she can yell abuse from behind the tank. Turn 5. And the next event card is Red Storm, which is not going to be nasty towards the robots. It's actually going to be a hindrance to us, where 2 random models will get hit by lightning, basically causing radiation damage. First up for turn 5 is Protectron 5, and the bottle cap means it gets the move, but it is going to protect the objective, which means it's going to go and charge Nuka Girl. First up for the Nuka team, I'm going to use Mama Murphy, and I'm going to move her up yellow towards the battered sentry bot, and then charge it. She's basically going to take one for the team, hopefully running interference so that Nuka Girl can finish the objective and open up the door. She's also going to grab that item at the same time, and I'm going to roll on the table, and I get a 12, which is custom ammo. I'm also giving Mama Murphy a green for the charge. Mr. Gutsy's up next, and I've rolled a star, which is a move, and he is going to move back towards the bunker doors and protect the objective, the main objective, which is the bunker. So he moves at red, so that will finish him just outside the doors there, so it's going to be an interesting finish. The Night Tech is up next, and he will get a green for outnumbering, a green for his improvised weapon, and a black for his strength, and he needs 5s to hit, which he hits on the first, doing 1 damage, sorry, which I probably shouldn't even bother rolling. Rolls a 3, fails, but the +1 stops that. On his second attack, he rolls a 7, -1 is 6, but he needs 5. That is a miss. The battered sentry bot is up next, and I've rolled a bottle, which is an attack, but he's engaged anyway, so he's attacking Mama Murphy. He needs 2 with his empty minigun. Rolls a critical fail on the first, so that is a miss. And on his second attack, rolls a 6. That is also a miss. And the attack on Mama Murphy by the battered sentry bot triggers the turrets, One of those turrets will take a shot at Nuka Girl because she's the weakest, having been injured, and the second one's going to fire into the combat with the sentry bot, battered sentry bot, and Mama Murphy, because that's where the movement's happening. So for the first one, rolled a 9, that's a miss. That was firing at Nuka Girl. The second one is firing into the combat here, and it's going to be needing 6s as it's firing. It gets a +2 for firing in the combat, and that is a hit with an armor break. And I'm going to be hitting the 4, which is going to be the sentry bot. And I don't get the roll because it just has a +1. 1 + 1 loses the 1, so it takes 1 point of damage. The janitor is up next, and he's going to be using an improvised weapon against this Protectron. Unfortunately, the improvised weapon only does 1 point of damage, so I've hit there, but the Protectron has 1 + 1 armor against physical, so he blocks that. There's no need to roll there. So second attack, I missed with a quick action. Protectron is up next, and he's attacking Pablo, and hits with a quick action. Pablo has 2 physical armor, rolls a 1, that means he blocks 1 and takes 1 point of damage. No, he blocks the 1 point of damage because it's an improvised weapon. And the second attack is a miss with a quick action. So it's only 1 quick action. Now I've got some turrets firing at Pablo. So the first turret is the laser turret, and that is a hit. So normally it needs 4s, but shooting in the combat is 6s, and with the -2, so it's 8. So it's a hit. Pablo is Pablo that's having to take that attack. Sorry, and he rolls a 1, so he blocks 1 and takes 1. Next, we've got the other 2 turrets. The first turret is a hit. Who does it hit? Odds it's so it's Pablo again, and he rolls 1, so he blocks 1 and takes 1. And the second turret is a hit as well. Alright, and who does it hit? It's going to hit Pablo, of course. And Pablo blocks 1 and takes 1. I'm going to activate Nuka Girl, and she's going to make a run for the door. So she's going to move out of combat, which means the Protectron will get a quick action attack at her. Also, at her activation, she is within yellow of one of those barrels, so I'll do that in a moment. She's going to get potentially irradiated. So, just moving her in there. And I'll just check what that is. She passes over it anyway. It's an item, but she won't be grabbing that. And I'll just do the Protectron's attack, which will be a green for the charge, a green for the improvised weapon. And he pretty much needs to get a crit to hit. And rolls an X, so that's a miss. And Nuka Girl is going to now try to hack that door. It's at a -6 with a +4 for the booster, and her intelligence, which is her computer, is 6. And she fails. So hopefully next turn she will have to pass. And then I'm just going to roll for the start the action, her starting action there. So she takes 1 radiation damage, and her radiation is 2. She rolls a 3, so she takes that point of radiation. Protectron 6 is up next, and he's going to be attacking. He's got a black for the charge and a green for the improvised weapon. He's attacking lows. It was going to be the night tech. So with a green and a black, he rolled a hit with an extra damage. So that's 2 damage against the night tech, who has power armor and strong armor too. He rolls a 1, so that blocks with his strong armor. That blocks that armor, so he takes no damage. And on his second attack, he rolls a 9, which is a clear miss. Mama Murphy is up next, and I'm going to move her out of combat, so she's swinging around, and then she's going to make a charge across to the Protectron. Now Mama Murphy's drugs have run out, the one that she took earlier, so she's just going wild now. But the battered sentry bot will get a quick attack against her with its empty minigun, which is a black and a green, needing, I think a crit. And that's a miss. And then Mama Murphy gets a green for the charge, and she's going to make an attack against that Protectron. That's a hit with an extra point of damage. So the Protectron has a 1+1, rolls a 3, but with a +1 takes 1 point of damage. Just rewinding a little bit here, I didn't take the trigger event for the janitor. He's going to attack the Protectron there, and 7 with the 2 -2s, that makes it 3. He needs 5, so he hits, but that's not enough. He does 1 point of damage. Protectron has 1+1, so everything is blocked there, so no damage to the Protectron. And then it's Pablo's turn. He's going to shoot into combat. So he normally needs 8 because of his pistol speciality and the comfort grip. And he's 4 normal, but it's -2 because he's shooting into combat. And he's hit with a quick action, double armor break. So that's 2 points of damage going straight through to the Protectron. His second attack is also a hit, but nothing special. So Protectron will get a save. It's 1+1 against physical, and it rolls a 3, so it takes a +1. Finishing off turn 5 with the Red Storm, and the first random model was a Protectron, which is immune to radiation damage, so no point continuing there. The second random model was the Janitor. He has a save that he can make, but I've rolled a 4, so he basically takes 1 radiation point. And I've rolled a star, which means that the Red Storm is discarded. And the last turn, turn 6. And the event card is Diamond City Radio. The soft music of Diamond City Radio, playing from somewhere in the rubble, fades out and the announcer can be heard. And I'm going to activate Nuka Girl first, so she doesn't get overwhelmed by droids. She needs 4s to open this door, thanks to the booster. So she's rolling a 1 white die, needing 4s. And she gets the cog. So that is victory for Team Nuka. They get 250 caps and power armor, T51 power armor amongst other things. So thank you very much, that's a win. With the door open, the droids and the turrets all go silent. The survivors look around and they notice that the VIM paint on the droids is fresh. Underneath they find military paint, old US Army droids repurposed with VIM colors. Also, the parts that were supposedly stolen by VIM are not inside. This appears to be a dead end. But not all is at a loss. The Knight Tech has vowed the Brotherhood will help Nuka Girl retrieve her missing tech. So, this is what they've come away with. The T-51 power armor, the blood pack, custom ammo, a patched 3-piece suit, and the military fatigues, which I could not find the card for. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and please leave a comment below. Let me know if I've done anything wrong, or what I've done something right, or even if you want to just do general comments, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.